drama that had the nation gripped as Stephen Mangan starred as barrister Nathan Stern in The Split.
Well, now he's left the courtroom behind and taken on a very important task as the author of his latest children's book, in which he reveals all we need to know about the fart that changed the world. And it's such a... everyone loves a fart gag. It's great to say it out loud. The sound department have a field day.
Yeah.
There you go. There you go.
That was horrible.
So this is the... That's a nasty one. We both got the book. There you go. King Fabian hosting all the neighbouring rulers. He does a fart and won't admit to it and blames it on the butler, and then...
Yeah, I mean, it's just a chain of events that's unleashed by the ruler's inability to tell the truth.
When have we heard that
I mean,
before?
I don't know. He wants to impress people, he wants people to like him, and he'd rather that than be honest and upfront with them. Wasn't on my mind when I wrote it that there might be parallels, but lo and behold, look what's happened. Yes, it completely destroys his world. He farts. The other thing I have to say is when I wrote the book, I didn't really think forward to sitting on a sofa with you guys and talking about farts so much, but there we go. That's.
I'm sure you, if you had have done, you'd have written it much faster.
So yeah, I wanted to. I think children sometimes feel maybe that their actions don't impact on the world, but I wanted to say you just don't know that the things you do, that how things snowball. I mean, it was the sort of butterfly effect, the idea of butterfly beating its wings in one part of the world can cause a hurricane in the other. So the fart is the start of a chain of events for a lot of joy and comedy and action and fun.
And what happens when rulers aren't up to the job?
Well, exactly. I mean, a king is born into it and they may not quite be the right stuff for it. But this king certainly isn't the right stuff, and his weakness is his fatal flaw, and it just, you know, brings his whole world crashing to the ground.
What's lovely here is you've said that you've got 3 boys, haven't you? And you're going to include all of them. They're going to be the heroes in all of your books. So Jack was in the first book. Frank is the hero in this book because he sort of comes in as a stand-in butler.
Yes, he does.
And saves the day.
Yeah. And the character of Frank in this book is very much like my Frank. He's got an incredible imagination. I mean, he's 11 years old and you see him in the garden talking to himself and fighting imaginary demons and using branches as walkie-talkies. But yes, I did. I wrote the first book with Jack as the hero. I suddenly thought, oh, the others aren't going to like that. So I wrote a second book with Frank, and I do have another son.
I was going to say, there's got to be another book on the way.
There's got to be another book, Harry.
You, growing up, reading was incredibly important to you. It was something that you did from a child, and that's something that you want to encourage within people's families.
Yeah, I mean, I'm so old. I grew up, you know, before there was daytime telly. And those long summer holidays, you had nothing to do. You had to find something to do. And I loved reading. I always had my head in a book. And I know that children now, there are so many other distractions. You know, there is all sorts of computer games and phones, and I got so much from reading. I really want my children to experience that joy. So I'm hopefully, you know, there are so many great books out there.
Actually, having said, looking at that, if I took that home and I was like, just read the title, I think they'd be in from that.
Yeah,
I think that will draw them in. Like, it's that sort of bit naughty, bit silly, bit funny, but then you start reading it and it's this adventure.
Well, the thing is, a book is its own little world.
Yeah.
And you just need to get them to open the front cover and start reading, because books can be intimidating. You think, oh, there's so many words, you know. But that age group that it's for, 8 to 12, I think they'll go with you anywhere on a story. You know, they're still very innocent, they're and sophisticated at the same time, and their imaginations are so, you know, fertile. So I just tried to write a book that was as fun as possible.
Well, also, it's lovely that Anita, your sister, has done the illustrations.
Yeah. Yeah, if you told me when I was a kid that I'd be working with my sister, I wouldn't have believed it. But she is a fantastic illustrator. She illustrated the first book, Escape the Rooms. She's just done incredible illustrations here. And the thing about your sister is she, you know, we have the same sense of humour. So she gets me and I get her, and I don't really need to give her too much to get her going. I mean, one of the characters I said, I've got Miriam Margolyes in mind, who I know was here the other day.
We love
her. The cook.
She loves a fart as well.
Well, there you go. It all ties in.
She's done it in here.
We're not even joking. It must be lovely, sort of, you know, you go from the writing, which is all this imagination in your own head and sort of being in control of all of that, to then, obviously, the other string to your bow, the acting, where you're in somebody else's world. And we can't have you here and not mention The Split, which I absolutely love. And along with the rest of the nation is completely gutted that that was the last series. I was explaining, I think people love it so much because you feel like you like all of those characters. You sort of want to be in their world. You care for them so deeply.
Yeah, I mean, it's about family and it's about relationships.
Yeah.
And we all have that in our lives. You know, whether you're in a relationship that's going well and you want to hang on to it, or things aren't going well, or you're looking for love, or, you know, it's about sisters, it's about parents. It's about the stuff that really makes up what's important in our lives. And it's so beautifully and delicately written that I
didn't
think...
want it to end.
Oh, well, I mean, nor did I, to be honest. But I think with a will they, won't they story like that...
I know.
I think eventually people will be like, OK, make up your minds.
We want to know.
Just make up your minds one way or another. And
But
I think
there
she
could be
left
like
it
a little something, like a little spin-off series or a little
maybe.
something.
I don't know. I mean, I'm not in the head of Abby Morgan, our writer, but, you know, it was a treat to be in something that connected and people felt so emotional about. People tell me how many tears were
Oh, God, I was exhausted.
Yeah.
Must be lovely for you as well, because you had such a chunk of time playing comedy characters, and then to get quite a weighty, emotional role is nice.
Yeah, it's really great, because I think as an actor, you see yourself as an actor, but, you know, you are put into boxes. And when I first started doing television, I did Adrian Mole, and I worked with Armando Iannucci, and I did Green Wing. And so I became comedy person. And it's lovely to be able to stretch those other muscles that, you know, you have as an actor.
Now you're fart writer.
Now I'm writing about farts. I mean, I'm not helping myself here. I don't know if Judi Dench has written any books about farts.
Judi Dench never farts.
Oh, this is so good. I'm going to steal this one, if that's all right. I'm going to take it home for the kids. Here we go. The Fart That Changed the World. And that's the book. And
there you go. There you go. You're actually our last interview of this series.
School's out for summer.
School is out, so I think we should end it with a fart. There we go.
There you go.
Thank you.
Thank you.